Training camp practice number 6 for the New York Giants is underway, and unfortunately comes with some bad news as Malik Nabers had to leave practice with an apparent shoulder injury, and we're going to react to that as we got some new information from Ian Rappaport. First, though, send Malik Nabers the good vibes. If there's any player on this team that they can't afford to get hurt, it's him, Dexter Lawrence, and Andrew Thomas. So send Malik some good vibes. Hit that thumbs up icon right now. Welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Let's dive into it. On Tuesday's practice, Malik Nabers had to leave early due to a shoulder injury. At this moment, we are unsure how severe the injury is, but let's just tell you what we know. Jordan Renan tweeting this out saying, Malik Nabers banged up on a run play. On the ground for a few seconds, grabbed at his shoulder as he walked off. Something to monitor. He then followed that up by saying Malik Nabers went into the field house with the Giants head trainer Ronnie Barnes, and then Ronnie came outside and gave head coach Brian Daboll an update. Nabers did not return to practice. He appears done for the day. Dan Duggan of The Athletic saying, I miss Nabers walking off the field. Ronnie Barnes just jogged out of the building and immediately met with Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen. Looked like Barnes was pointing towards his shoulder as he approached. So that's all we got. And to be honest with you, we do not have time for this. Joe Schoen does not have time for this, and Brian Daboll does not have time for this. We don't really know how serious it is. Training camp injuries are always scary because there isn't always that much information passed along. But let's just hope for the best. And I know this, when we do get an update, we'll make a video as soon as possible. So make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you have those notifications turned on, because as soon as we hear anything good or bad, hopefully good, about Nabers and his shoulder, we will get you an update. As I'm seeing Ian Rappaport tweet out right now, a few injuries to watch today. Giants wide receiver Malik Nabers left practice and will have his shoulder checked out, but appears okay per me and Mike Garafolo. So take that as you will. Never good that he's hurt, but the fact that they're saying he appears okay is better than not. Just put the guy in bubble wrap. Like, we know how special he is. There's nobody on the Giants that can guard him. We don't need to see that anymore, and I don't really worry about the chemistry between he and Russell Wilson. They're going to be fine. Nabers went for 1,200 last year with Daniel Jones and Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito and Tim Boyle. Who the hell is Tim Boyle? If you know, you know. Dan Duggan saying this. Brian Daboll, we'd be smart here, my guy. Malik Nabers shaken up. Got taken out in the scrum on a run play. He walked off under his own power, but probably enough crackback blocks for him today. Daboll, you always talk about how we're going to be smart with him. We're going to be smart. We're going to be smart. Probably not smart to have Malik Nabers throwing crackback blocks on an inside run drill. You're the football coach. I'm not. But, yeah, maybe let's not have Malik Nabers throwing crazy blocks on run plays and resulting him to be injured. Another injury that's popping up, Tyler Nubin shaken up away from the play. Looked like trainers were checking his ribs. He walked off, so maybe just got the wind knocked out of him. So something to monitor. And you know Giants football is back when we're up here talking injury updates. We've been doing that far too long as my time as the host of this channel, and that's why I turn injuries off when I play Madden. I'm not trying to deal with any of that. Shaken up during the last first-team period, but walked to the sidelines, tried to run a little bit, but he's still on the sideline being looked at. That is Nubin. Now Garafolo tweeting out, Giants are expecting a sigh of relief on Malik Nabers. So good stuff there. 78, 97, and number 1, they can sit until week 1. I don't need to see you practicing against the Jets in joint practices, although it'd be fun. I'd love the entertainment, but I'd rather it come on Sunday, week 1, against the Washington Commanders or the Dallas Cowboys. I don't need to see them play in the preseason against the Bills, the Patriots, or the Jets. Put them in bubble wrap, because nothing matters if these 3 guys aren't healthy. And Andrew Thomas is already dealing with an injury at this point, so let's continue to take it slow with him. He was on the side working with trainers today is the second time he's done that in training camp. So starting that ramp-up period now and knock on wood, hoping for no setbacks. We know Dexter Lawrence is coming back from an injury of his own. He's been limited in training camp so far with the New York Giants. Let's just take it slow, steady. It's a marathon, not a sprint. No need for Malik Nabers to be throwing crackback blocks on inside run drills on July 29th. Hot take, I know. A couple more thoughts coming up in a second, but I want you guys to get hooked up with this deal. This shirt is flying off the shelves, and the deal is not going to last forever. It was $40. Now it's $20. A Giants Nike t-shirt. This deal is awesome. Take advantage of it. Chatsports.com/Giants sale. Chatsports.com/Giants sale. Nabers isn't the only wide receiver with an injury right now. We know that Bryce Ford-Wheaton tore his Achilles. He is now out for the year. And as Evan Barnes, who covers the Giants, says, so with Nabers and Robinson out, both Collins and Dalen Cambry, 2 UDFAs, are getting some first-team looks at wide receiver now. And no disrespect to Bo Collins and no disrespect to Dalen Cambry, my backup slot wide receiver on the 53-man roster projection. It's usually not good when you're only in week 2 of training camp and you have 2 UDFAs running with the first-team offense. And that is because Wan'Dale Robinson and Jalen Hyatt are still out. Dan Duggan of The Athletic saying Robinson and Hyatt went to the side with trainers after individual drills. We know that Hyatt had that injury to his hamstring back in the spring, late spring, the last organized team activity for the Giants. And Wan'Dale Robinson had that collision with Brian Burns a couple of days ago. But if it was just a cramp, like a lot of people thought for Hyatt when he had to leave on day 1, I don't think he would still be out this far. Now they're saying Tyler Nubin returns to practice on the next drive. So good news there. But the Giants are in a bad spot, I'd say, at the wide receiver room. I don't expect this Malik Nabers injury to be too crazy. Obviously not good that he's hurt. And with Garafolo and Rappaport saying they're not worried, I'm going to try to not be worried, even though I will be worried until I know he's back out there. If Wan'Dale Robinson is hurt, and Jalen Hyatt is hurt, and Nabers is going to miss some time, I'm sorry. You got to go out and sign somebody else because it can't just be Slayton. It can't just be Lil Jordan Humphrey and Montreal Washington, Bo Collins, Zach Pascal, Amir Smith-Marset, newly added Gunnar Olszewski, Daquan Felton, and Dalen Cambry. This is why I've been asking for another wide receiver. You are 1 injury away from being in wide receiver hell. And now you're 3 injuries in with Nabers, Hyatt, and Robinson. And even if they all return to practice tomorrow, I still think there is a need for another receiver on this team. Limited cap space, I get it. But probably not ideal that Dalen Cambry and Bo Collins are getting first-team reps 2 weeks in a training camp. I'm looking at a guy like Keenan Allen, probably the best wide receiver available in free agency at this point. Still a solid player, and he could play the slot. And right now, outside of Wan'Dale Robinson, you don't really have a professional slot receiver on this team. Is he the guy that was still an all-pro in Los Angeles with the Chargers? No. But if you're telling me you could sign Keenan Allen right now and he'll put up 70 grabs for 7 touchdowns and 744 yards, I would absolutely do that. I'd also make a call to Amari Cooper and see where he's at and where he wants to play football or if he wants to play football this year. I know it didn't go too well in Buffalo when he got traded from the Browns to Buffalo, or might have been released. I don't really remember exactly. But it's a little bit different when you're joining a team mid-season and you're trying to learn their playbook and you're trying to get on the same page and all of that stuff. So I would look at Amari Cooper. We know the Giants are already looking at Gabe Davis. They brought him in for a visit about a month ago. He talked to Kay Adams about playing for the New York Giants. We did a video on the channel about that last week. You are all subscribed. I know it, so you all saw it. But he's someone I'm interested in. If Gabe Davis's knee is healthy, I would absolutely bring him in for a visit. He's someone I'm interested in. He told Kay Adams about the Giants. We had a good dinner. It was good. It was a good night. And he said Russell Wilson even showed up to that, and he's thought about playing for the Giants and linking up with Russ. And if Russell Wilson's showing up to a dinner for Gabe Davis, I think that tells you what you need to know about how interested Russell Wilson is. If you're looking for a under-the-radar name at the slot position, Tyler Boyd could be someone. You probably remember him from the Cincinnati Bengals. He was really good there. Didn't play too well for the Tennessee Titans last year. Nobody's going to play too well when you play with the quarterbacks that they did. But another guy that's a proven slot in this league that's played at an NFL level. I'd look to go bring in another wide receiver. I don't know if Gunnar Olszewski is going to get the job done. Injuries blow. They suck. I hate them. They hate the Giants, or I guess they love the Giants because the Giants are always hurt. But, man, hopefully Nabers is okay. Sounds like he is all right. Have not heard he has returned to practice. I'd probably keep him out of practice for a while and have him just get ready to go for week 1. Mike Garafolo officially saying a sigh of relief for the New York Giants when it comes to Malik Nabers. I'd be having more sighs of relief if he just did not get hurt and had to leave practice at all. But yeah, that's the news of the day. And if we get any more official update on Nabers, we'll get you guys a video as soon as possible. First spot you would have heard about the Nabers injury is on my Twitter. So give me a follow at @MarshallGreen_.